All right. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Um, Welcome to learning. So, just waiting for people to get on. At this time, I'll just be putting up um, the stream online. While that is going on, let's throw this bad boy up so you don't have to look at me. All right. Okay, cool. Well, that is good to go. I got a couple people on. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Okay, Rishi, what's up? Oh my gosh, Rishi. Rishi, I'm just gonna pretend that you pay attention in class. It's just an FRQ, no quiz tomorrow, and the quiz will just be normal. Just like every other kind of quiz. Can I ask a question over the packet you gave today in class? Yes, Hannah. I'd be happy to answer any questions about the packet. Yes, you may ask those questions. We can talk about that packet as much as you guys want. Unfortunately, I did not bring my packet here to school. It's gonna make things interesting. You guys might have to type some stuff out, put you guys to work. Because it's on my school computer. I could do number 19 and 18, but I don't know which ones. No, I didn't transfer over to my flash drive earlier. Oh, this is terrible. I don't want to do this. Yeah, sorry, Hannah. Like I said, I didn't bring that packet home with me. So if you want to type it out, or if you want to send me your email, I could get you on the live stream and you can like read it to me or something. I don't understand aggression, arousal, and the delayed imitation test. Can you explain those? Are we talking about the Bandura reading that you guys had? Or is that one of the questions? Sorry, Peyton. I don't know what you're asking me. Okay, so from the Bobo doll experiment? Okay. I don't know what you mean by aggression, arousal, and delayed imitation. So, okay, so are you asking like what was happening to the kids when they, like why were they responding? Like what? I just don't understand what you're asking. Like aggression, arousal is what he was studying. He was attempting to. Is there a specific definition for aggression, arousal? No, I mean it is what it is. it's like you're aggressive and that piques your arousal. I mean, it's all kind of um, like that's what it is. I don't like. And then a delayed imitation test is just like if you remember, they had them watch the video. They went into another room, and then they kind of got them a little bit riled up because because they couldn't play with those toys or whatever. And then after that, they sent them on their way. And so the um, imitation was technically delayed for a period of time as the child um, went through that. So when you're talking about the aggression arousal, or let's just talking about step 2, you're talking about steps 2. Yeah, go back and if okay, so when they're saying like aggression, I'm sorry, I'm tracking with you now. Okay, when they're talking about, so in the step 2 aggression arousal, it says in the second stage the experimenter used the aggression arousal technique for all 72 children. Each of the children was taken to a full room. That's what they're talking about. Each of the children was taken to the room for fully attractive toys. So aggression arousal is talking about they're getting them kind of hyped up. They're getting them like annoyed. So each of the 72 kids, they all did this one thing where they went into this really nice room, and as soon as they started playing with the toys, the experimenter came in and was like, "Oh, sorry kids, you can't play with this. This is for the good kids." And so that's the aggression arousal. That's like getting them hyped up, getting them angry about something or whatever. And so then because they did that to the kids who watched the adults play aggressively, they did it to the 24 kids that watched the adults not play aggressively, and then the 24 kids who were the control group who didn't do anything. So the step 2 was happened to everyone because they had to get the kid kind of pissed off. So, and the delayed imitation test is just like that's once again it's that period of time afterwards where they like figure out, okay, well, what's is the child going to imitate what the adult does, and they did pretty much every time. Okay, Peyton, give me like a thumbs up or whatever. I'm sorry that took so long to explain to you, but if that makes sense, let me know. And Hannah, I'm still kind of waiting on you. If you had if you want to hop on the stream, I can you can read those questions to me. Or if you want to type them up. Dang, Peyton, you're so cool. You are Gucci. Or Hannah, if you want to type it up. I'm really sorry. I do not remember. You could also take a picture of it and email it to me. If you emailed it to me, I would that would also work. I trying to find the easiest route for you to get this info to me so I can answer. Okay. While we got in on that, Dassault. Dassault. Let's go. I do not understand discrimination is. Okay. Discrimination is is really just in the word. Basically, it is the person not. So technically, this is what it is. So the person there is a. Let me just write this out. There is a new neutral stimulus. Okay, but that but the new NS is too different from from the conditioned stimulus, so there is no response. Okay, so simply put, like think of any conditioned anything that you are conditioned to. You have you have a conditioned stimulus to the bell. You have a conditioned stimulus to, I don't know, a certain kind of day. And that's when you get hungry, like at 11 o'clock or close to 11 when fifth period starts. You probably start to get hungry. Your body's used to getting food around this time, which is why Wednesday was probably a pain in the butt, because we got food later than it normally was. And so the discrimination is just like, okay, you have your conditioned stimulus, the bell. We're just going to use the bell as our example here. Well, if you get literally anything, if there's anything other, like another neutral stimulus that pops up, but it's not really like the conditioned stimulus, and you recognize it as something that is different, it's not similar enough, you're going to ignore it. You're going to think it's something else. If Mr. Long comes on the announcements and starts talking, you're not going to stand up and like walk out of the room. You're going to listen to what he's saying. So yeah, that's what discrimination is. It's literally anything that is another neutral stimulus that you don't pair as the conditioned stimulus. If that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense to you, if you're having trouble with it. Okay, wait. All right, Josh. We need to know what we need to know is shaping, discrimination, generalization, modeling, punishment, reinforcement, and reinforcement schedule. Yes. And I have not covered, yes, Josh, all of those things are things that you need to know for your FRQ. I have not covered every single one of those. Okay, Hannah, we're coming back to you. Every once in a while, Johnny cried when his mother put him in the shopping cart at the local grocery store. She then started giving him gum from the machine at the store to quiet him when he cried. Yeah, oh, this one. After several such episodes, it was noted that crying became more frequent at the grocery store. Girl, what's happening there? Like, he's now, okay, so so this is slightly counterintuitive, because in a sense, what does she want? She wants to punish him. She wants him to stop what is happening. But at the same time, what is she really doing? Like, in the mindset of the adult, she is like coddling him, like, just, okay, you get what you want, so you just shut up. But for the kid, he's crying, and what is he getting? He's getting attention. And so that's what he wants. So what would that be? So yes, it's like, in a sense, it's supposed to be punishment, but this is kind of one of those like higher end, and that's why it's later on in the questioning. It's one of those higher end aspects where you have, well, it's supposed to be this, but in reality, something very different is happening, because when you look at it from the child's perspective, he's definitely being reinforced for his actions. So yeah. So I tried my best not to like give you the actual answer there, but that's what we're looking at. So so that's positive reinforcement. Or, whoa, I didn't say that. Oh, geez. Okay, so yeah. Okay. I hope that answers that question for you, Hannah. I know that one was tricky. It's supposed to be. Okay. Okay, Dasal, let me scroll down. Whoa. Okay, Josh, I will get to you in a second. Okay, Dasal, I'm going to go back to your question. I understand generalization, but not discrimination. Yes, I know. So it isn't a negative response. No, it's not a negative response. It's not a response. It's just the fact that don't get it like mixed with like society and social, like socially. We'll come back to discrimination again when we get into what am I thinking? When we come back to social psychology, and we'll talk about like the difference between discrimination, which is basically like thoughts and like how you feel about something, versus prejudice, which is you're actually doing something. And we'll get to that in social psychology. So it's not negative. It's just, it's a separation. Like, that that this is your conditioned stimulus. Your body is attuned to this. Your body is attuned to the bell, and so when the bell rings, let's pack it up and let's go on to our next class. Okay. And then if you have like if you have some other kind of stimulus that just doesn't connect to you, and you're just not like, oh wait, is it time to go? Then it's not going to happen. So it is not a negative response. It's not a response. Okay, I think I've answered your question. Dasal, if you're so confused, like, hit me up again. But I think I've answered your question. Yes, Peyton, we are definitely going over reinforcement schedules tomorrow. We're gonna be running through lots of content tomorrow. So, but we're gonna get it done. Yes, I can, Josh. I do plan on going over that stuff tonight. So, no, I mean, Josh, you really just need to, you just need to know the stuff for the FRQ. I'm pretty sure the practice that we did today kind of counts as like your quiz or whatever. So I'll be grading that over the weekend, which will be fun. You guys will do good. Isn't that? Whoa, I don't know what you're talking about now, Josh. Anything else? Isn't that positive reinforcement gone wrong? I don't know what you're talking about. No, not really. Oh, are you going back to the thing? Yeah, it's positive reinforcement. Yes, it's gone wrong. She's not really trying to punish me. Like the thing. Okay. So Josh, like when you're going back to Hannah's example, she's not punishing him. Like she wants the behavior to stop, but the problem is she's not actually punishing the child, and so that's the issue. Like, so once again, she's just coddling him. She's just stepping in and being like, oh, like, well, okay, I don't have the energy level or the bandwidth or whatever to deal with this child, or to be like, no, you need to shut up, like you need to stop, and so I'm going to give him a candy and that'll shut him up. So she's the thing is, it's a behavior she doesn't like, but she's not actually punishing. So so it's a tricky example. So I doubt you'd see something like that on a test. Yeah, I don't think you would, but maybe. Okay, guys, I know I'm a little bit behind on the thing. Yeah, Josh, you're gonna turn it in tomorrow, dingus. Okay, Sarah, I'm at you. Can you explain more of the differences of the girls' and boys' aggression towards same-sex or same different sex dolls? Can you explain more of the differences of the girls and boys? Okay, so we're going back to the reading, correct? Oh, okay. I don't know how I want to explain this, other than the fact that is just the. Okay. Let me think on how I want to talk about this. Okay, so in your results, so if you're looking at your results, it says girls in the aggressive model group. Okay, so this is the one that showed the model being aggressive. Showed physical expression if the model was male, and verbal aggression if the model was female. Okay. Okay, so this is kind of higher end stuff. You're looking at how the different sexes deal with situations. In a very real standpoint, men often are more like physical with theirs, and then on the female side, it's more verbal. Like their discussion, the way they like work through things is often can often be more verbal, and that's all they're really like trying to say here. You don't need to like delve deeper into this, but it's just something to think about. Think about the way that the way that men versus women deal with issues, and why sometimes there's a big disconnect between males and females, because women deal with problems and issues and frustrations in one way, and men do it in another way. And so oftentimes, like married couples or whatever, or people who are dating, they have these different conflicts and they deal with them a different way, and it causes a lot of tension. So Um, I don't know if that I don't know if that 100% answers your question. I know that you don't need to know too much more than that. Um, uh, well, we'll go back a little bit on. In the second part, it says girls weren't very keen on imitating the same-sex models, so female models, while boys, on the other hand, were more likely to imitate same-sex models. So the boys were more likely to do what the men did and less likely to do what the females did. And the females weren't likely to imitate the women exactly what they did. So all that, I mean, once again, that's just showing that kind of like the differences in how like little boys are, you know, looking up, who are they looking up to? Are they going to display the same thing? And if you looked at the age groups, Sigmund Freud had a lot to say about what kids were dealing with at that age group. When you're looking at these kids underneath the age of 10, or excuse me, just above the age of 10, these 12-year-olds, a lot of them are dealing with this like kind of, you know, it's that silly cootie stage. They don't want to have anything to do with um, you know, the opposite sex, and so you're going to go run into that, especially with males. So man, I don't know if I explained that the way you wanted to. um, Let me know, Sarah. Can you, you know, give me a thumbs up or something, or give me like an if you're still struggling with it. Okay. Okay, I know that was long. Guys, I'm getting to all these questions. I'm just working my way down. So I'm going to go with Peyton next. Okay, so Peyton, shaping. I don't know if I got to it in fourth period. I don't think I talked about it in fourth period. We'll talk about it in fourth. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But all this is you have a really complex, like you have a complex thing that you have to teach someone, and in order to teach them to do it, like, okay, learning how to write. You know how to do, like, learning how to draw and write and stuff. You don't start by writing full paragraphs and stuff. You don't start by drawing, you know, beautiful paintings. You start very small. You start at the beginning, and that's just what operant conditioning is you build up to the point where you know, like, where the person knows like the trick or whatever, or the skill. And so shaping is just built, like, you can't go out and paint a Michelangelo painting, or I don't know, some famous painter or whatever. Okay, you can't just do that. You have to build up to that, and that's the same with operant learning, and any kind of learning really is it got to build up. Okay, so that's shaping. You're welcome, Josh. I appreciate it. I try. Okay, shaping, Sarah, I think I just explained that, so I think you're good. Modeling, okay. I mean, Peyton, I mean, that's like, don't overthink it. Like, you learn things based on what other people do, and it's super. And I mean, a huge part of Bandura's study was looking at kids. Like, kids latch on to the things that we do. And it's something I'll kind of like talk to you guys briefly about tomorrow. Like, watch what you do in front of kids, man. They are watching you, and they are learning, and they see you as role models. Like, that's a big deal, and they will do what you do. And so that's, you know, modeling is just, you see something and you do it, and then you know how to do it. I mean, how many times has someone shown you how to throw something or do it, I don't know, a trick or whatever. I don't know. I have a rubber band trick I can do, but I can't find my rubber band. So, but like, you learn by watching other people. That's modeling. So, okay, cool. All right, modeling. We'll talk. You know, we'll talk. I mean, modeling. Once again, modeling was the entire Bandura thing. So, yeah, you think you got that? For the FRQ, do we have to apply the definitions to the situations? Yeah, so tomorrow you're going to get a situation. You're going to get, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you're going to get a situation, and you're going to take that those definitions, define quick example application, and you're going to be like, we're going to be knocking through it. You need to know this stuff for the FRQ tomorrow. You guys will do great. It'll be fine. So, good question, Baden. Okay, Rishi, what's the difference between negative reinforcement and positive punishment? Okay, Rishi, remember, reinforcement. What do we want to? What do we want the behavior to? What do we want with the behavior? We want it to increase. We want it to continue. We want that, you want your dog to come whenever you call. I just have Teddy at my feet, so that's what's the thought about. Punishment. You don't want your dog to continue to pee on the carpet, so you are decreasing that thing. So negative reinforcement, we are taking something bad away. Okay, so you screw up, or excuse me, you do really well in class. So because you're doing really, really well in class, I'm taking away this quiz that you have to do. That's negative reinforcement. Remember, negative, taking something away. Okay, if it's reinforcement, we're taking something bad away. If it's punishment, we're taking something good away. I'm taking away your phone. I'm taking away your car keys, something like that. Okay, now for positive, remember, we're adding something on. So you get a piece of candy. You did a great job. Good job. You get punched in the face because you were a jerk to someone. That was the behavior I didn't want you to do, so I punched you in the face. I'm adding something that you do not like. There you go, Rishi. Okay. So reinforcement is strengthening or supporting a behavior, while punishment is stopping a behavior or wanting it to stop. Yes. Negative is removing something. Positive is is adding something. Yes, and it's dependent on whether it's punishment or reinforcement. Yep, good, Josh. Alex, I was worried for an extended period of time whether or not you were here. I was waiting with bated breath. Oh wow, we're already halfway through. Okay, so okay. Oh, Cassie, did I not talk about aversive conditioning? Okay, did I? Did we talk about John Watson? Okay. Aversive conditioning is just when you are like, it's like when you're very specifically trying to get something to stop, and like, I don't know if I put this up for, okay, hold on. I'm trying to, okay, I was wondering if I had put it up yesterday. Okay, so aversive conditioning is, it's basically positive punishment, and I don't know why they give this other name for it. We have positive punishment, but it's just adding something unpleasant to stop an unwanted behavior. Like that's it. It's, you literally could write positive punishment, and then like in little parentheses next to it, you could be aversive conditioning. It's the exact same thing. So I don't know why we need to have multiple names for it, but we do. So that's, yeah, don't, yeah, I'll always do like positive punishment or whatever, but you might see aversive conditioning somewhere. So okay, I'm glad you got it, Sarah. Awesome. Okay, Calvin. So would an example of modeling be like, I see you have a horrible rank in league, resulting in me having horrible grades in class? No. No. Oh, good. Okay, you're welcome, Cassie. Okay, Calvin. A better example would be I'm a horrible league player. I see how good you are of a player, and I learn from that, and I become better. That would be modeling, like learning from modeling. So me learning from you, like what you're doing is modeling. Like you're modeling like you're doing a behavior, and I'm like learning from you or whatever. Okay, just all good question, but no. You, okay, remember, when we are talking about positive reinforcement, that is the act of, okay, that is an incentive. Okay, you know what I'm sure you guys know what incentive means, but that is the positive reinforcement is the reward you are giving. Negative reinforcement is the reward that you're getting. Shaping is the process, like the entire thing, like what is happening. It's not. Yes, Rishi, you're on it. It's just the process of being conditioned to do something. Yeah, it's like that's just like what is happening. It is not this aspect of it. Positive reinforcement is you are being rewarded for doing this. So, okay, cool. I have hit all of the questions. I've caught up. Whoa, that's a lot of questions. Okay, so what I need now. Okay, Sarah. What's the main point of generalization and discrimination? What's the difference between it and classical conditioning? Generalization and discrimination you're going to get in both areas. You're going to get it in operant conditioning, and you can also get it in classical conditioning. What's the main point? It's just, I don't know, it's stuff they want you to know. I don't know. Because you can get generalization and discrimination in operant conditioning, and like when I am training Teddy to come, I might say another word and he would come anyways. I might be like home or something and he would still come. That's generalization. Like it was enough like the other word that he's like, oh woo, let's do this. Or I could say, bazooka, and he just sits there. That would be discrimination. He's not reacting to what it is. So just know it can work in both. Yeah. So I don't know. They're silly little terms that they want you to know, and I don't know. Sarah, let me know if that makes sense. By starting simple and then moving to more intricate and complex things. Yes, Josh. Yes, I can. What is the Premack principle? Dasal, I'm going to get to reinforcement schedules in a minute. I'm going to answer questions that I've covered first, or concepts that I already covered. Okay. Okay, good. I'm glad, Sarah. Okay, so Darth, welcome. I don't know if you've been on here, or if you've asked a question, or maybe I just don't remember, but I'm glad you're here anyways. Okay, so Darth, so Premack principle. Okay, so I can do all those things. What? Rishi, what are you talking about? Do you just scream farm tool in his school life? What are you talking? Okay. Rishi, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember saying any of those things. Home. Yes, I said home. What'd you think? Farm tool? Oh. I did not say that, Rishi. And I'm now, no, it's me. I was not tracking with you, but now it's, minus the M. Yes, I did say home. Yes, thank you, Jewel. I think that's you, Jewel. Yeah. Okay. Good one, Rishi. Good one. I'm sorry. Okay. Aryan, thank you. Cassie, adverse is basically the same as positive punishment, and it basically is. Okay. Siddharth, I have not forgotten about you. Okay, Premack principle. Okay, so I am training Teddy to sit. Okay, so I'm practicing with him. I'm telling him to sit. I'm giving him attention or whatever. But I've run out of dog treats. So the first day I do it with him, I run out of dog treats. The next day, I'm like, I need to train Teddy to do this thing. Well, you know what? I've got broccoli in the refrigerator. I'll still train him. It'll be fine. So I go and I start training with Teddy. And I'm like, all right, Teddy, sit. Teddy sits down. And I'm like, oh, good job, good boy. And I hand him a broccoli. He eats the broccoli. And then he spits it out because it's disgusting. It's broccoli. He doesn't like broccoli. I mean, I like broccoli, but he doesn't like it. So my reward for him is not a good reward. And so he's less likely to do, like, if you're given something as a quote reward, but but you don't like the thing, are you going to do the behavior? If you're being reinforced, so you have the person up here that is trying to train this person down here, and this person gives something crappy, like if they give them, broccoli and you don't like broccoli, is this person likely to do the behavior? No, screw that. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to go do something else. And so that's the Premack principle. It is the concept that when giving a reward, you need to make sure that the person likes it. Otherwise, you're not going to reinforce the behavior. They won't care. So very often, well, hopefully not too often, but often enough, someone will do something great, and we're just like, oh man, you should keep doing that. And so they give them some, and then they give them something as a reward, and the person's just like, well, that was stupid. Like, no, I don't want, a sticker or something. Except for I think everyone likes stickers, so that's a big example. Okay, so Darth, if that makes sense, give me a thumbs up, please. Dasal, I will come back to that. I will not leave tonight without talking about reinforcement schedules. I'll come back to it. Okay, so we're still okay. Like it's basically the same as adding something unpleasant. Okay, Cassie's still explaining. Good. When did we learn aversive pun? It's all. So when we talked about John Watson, and I might not have said it. I might not have said aversive conditioning when I was talking about it. Yeah. Thank you, Dasal. At least we are third period. Yeah. I might not. It's whatever. I won't use aversive conditioning. I just use positive punishment. No, Josh, it's not part of a reinforcement schedule. Okay, so that's good. Okay. All right, cool. So, let me. Okay. Wait, what are you saying you don't need to know? Wait, Josh, what are you saying is part of? No, aversive punishment is just it's positive punishment. It's the exact same thing. So yeah, just think of that. Yeah, it was part of the baby Albert thingy. Yes, Aryan, that is the technical terminology for it. Good man. For the FRQ, all we need is the definition and example and connection to the story. Or do we only need the definition? No, definition, example, story. Definition, example, application. Every time. All right, good. I'm glad that we all got the aversive thingy. There's no quiz tomorrow, only a FRQ. That is correct. Okay, so let's talk about. First, I need everyone in this chat. What is application again? What do you mean it was application again? You're gonna have a story. You're gonna have a story, Aryan. It'll be on there. Yeah, Dasal, that's part. Okay, so one of the big things with these FRQs, like I've been giving you guys lots of time to write, and so tomorrow I'm really just gonna gonna push you guys. I want to see how far you guys can go, because Aryan, what are you confused by? Yeah, there's gonna be the story. There's gonna be a story. It's just like all the other ones. But yes. But this is what it's going to be. Like you have, 5 to 7 things that you need to talk about. You'll have 25 minutes. 25 minutes is how long you have. 50 minutes to write 2 of them. So you're going to have 25 minutes to write 1. So we'll see how we go. You guys are going to do great. It's going to be fine. You guys know this stuff. So I don't know. Yes. Connect to story is the application. Yes, Aryan. Okay. So I need to know. I have on my screen, I see 19 people on here. And what I need everyone to do is literally just write or just type in here in the chat. And I just want to see how, just write it once, just type in here in the chat. And I want to see how many people are actually like here. So, and then we'll go. Aryan, you should have said first. Ugh, missed. So Hare's here, Mozam's here, Abby's here, Emily's here, Marina's here. Okay, cool. Christina's here. Cool. Okay. All right. I'm just okay. So here's my next question, and I probably should be doing this every time, but how many? Alex is no longer here. Did he abandon us? Does he just hop on for like 2 seconds to say something and then disappear? It looks like it. Aha! I'm onto his scheme. That was the only. This is the real thing. I wanted to catch Alex in his web of lies. Okay, so the next thing, if you, yeah, no, Alex, he bailed. Okay, all right, never mind. This is good enough. I just wanted to get an eyeball on that. All right, so let's look at reinforcement schedules. Let me pull this up. Okay. So, all right. So we're gonna skip down. We've talked about these things: token economy, Premack principle. Okay. So reinforcement schedules. Okay. So all this is when we are looking at reinforcement schedules. Get everything kind of situated on my computer. Okay. So when we are talking about Gabby here, it's Gabby. Hello, Gabby. Why are you on here? Okay, so reinforcement schedules. So basically what is happening is, this is out of, there it is. Okay, it's out of order. Okay. So ratio schedules. So basically what happens is, once again, we're going back to talking about reinforcement, different ways of reinforcement. We've talked about primary, secondary, token economy, Premack principle. So now we're going to talk about like schedules, legit just schedules. Like, when do we do this? How do we reinforce somebody? Okay, so is this, what is, hold on. I'm trying to look at my thing. Do I have this? I do have this mixed up. Okay. Oh, okay. No, I did it. I had it correct the first time. Okay. So yeah, we're fine. So we are. Oh no. Okay. Back up. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. So we have is ratio schedules reinforcement schedules? Yes. Yes, Dasal. Okay. So continuous versus partial reinforcement. Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. I was like way, I don't know where I was. Okay, so let's dial it back here real quick. Okay, so we have two things that we can do when we are reinforcing something. Okay, so once again, we are trying to like this continuous versus partial. I don't know why I don't have this. This can also be punishment. Punishment. We'll mostly use reinforcement as examples. Okay, so when we want to reinforce or we want to punish a behavior, we have different ways of doing this thing. We have different timelines in which we can do it. Okay, these are why it's called schedules. So first, we can do it continuously, every single time. Every single time that the behavior exhibited, we reinforce it or we punish it. Okay, so we're going to stick with reinforcement. I'm going to say reinforcement just because it's super annoying to say both things, but it can work in both ways. Okay, so reinforce the behavior every time the behavior is exhibited. Okay, so this is a continuous schedule. You just do it every time. Okay, so once again, as it says here, usually done when the subject is first learning to make the association. Okay, acquisition, when we are talking about acquisition in classical conditioning, comes very quickly. However, so does extinction. So when you teach your dog to sit and you give them a treat every single time that they are here. All right, hold on. I gotta give you the once a week. Hello, this is Teddy. You heard his name too many times earlier. So, okay, so you give it to them every time. Now they're gonna learn they're going to learn the behavior very, very quickly. However, they only know that like they get rewarded every single time. So when you stop rewarding them, if when you stop like when you stop teaching them that behavior. So I taught my old dog this like cool trick where I shot it with a gun and it fell over and played dead. Well, I gave the dog a treat. I gave Kipper a treat every single time, but she learned it very quickly. Like I got it done in a day, but once I like did it and she learned it and I showed my friends, I then didn't do it for an entire week and she completely forgot it. Like it was completely gone. So continuous is going to help you get that memory, like get it stored very quickly. However, in the long run, it's probably going to disappear. Okay, can I get back to my stream? My students don't want to look at you anymore. They want to look at the PowerPoint. Yes, I know. It's not working, guys. Okay, so okay, so then when we are looking at Okay, so then when we are looking at partial reinforcement, let me get this screen back up for you guys. So then when we are getting partial reinforcement, we're not doing it every time. We don't reinforce the behavior every time. We don't punish the behavior every time. We only do it some of the time. Duh. Okay, so guess what? What's going to happen with acquisition? Is it going to happen as fast? No, but it is more resistant to extinction. It is less likely for it to go away because the dog's already used to not getting the attention every single time or not getting the thing every single time. So that's the difference there. So we have two types of schedule. It'll be two ways: continuous or partial reinforcement or punishment. Okay. Now we need to spend some time talking about different types of partial reinforcement and punishment. Okay, so we're going to take a minute talking about that. We got two of them: interval versus ratio. Okay, so ratio provides a reinforcement after a set number of responses. Okay, so what you have is I am going to give you a reward after a certain number of you doing the response. So you doing the response or the behavior, whichever one you want to talk. You do the behavior a certain number of times and I'll give it to you. Okay, so that's what a ratio schedule is. Now, once again, two different types of ratio schedules: a fixed ratio versus a variable ratio. When looking at a fixed ratio, you do it a fixed number of times, a set number of times. So every time you lose, oh, Josh, so as a recap, continuous, they get rewarded every time, faster extinction and acquisition. Yes. So every time you lose 5 pounds. So let's say that the behavior you want to reinforce is losing weight. Okay, every time I lose 5 pounds, I get a cheat day, or I get a day where I can eat whatever food I want. Okay, or I get to go and do something that I like to do. I get to go paintballing or laser tag or something silly like that. I am rewarding myself not for every pound I lose, but for every every 5 pounds. So it's a set amount. Okay. Now variable ratio, because that person is trying to lose weight. Whoever we're talking about is trying to lose weight. Now variable ratio. So think of this as like the positive versus negative. It's going to be the same. So fixed is every time after a set, or excuse me, after a set number of times, and variable is going to be after a random number. Okay. So so with variable ratio, what was there's like one major like example of this, and I'm gonna use it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna use it again tomorrow because it's like the big time example. But the lottery, if you play the lottery, there's no guarantee that you are going to get the multi-million-dollar jackpot. However, people put so much money into what's going on. And um, and so you have to, if you're wondering, like, wait a minute, like, why are people doing that? Well, because of, if you look down here, very hard to get acquisition, so it's hard to get started, but it's also very resistant to extinction. And so I've been to Vegas a couple times now, and man, you just see it everywhere. Like, people just glued to what's going on. It can be so addicting, that just that random chance, like, oh my gosh, it could happen. Oh, it's going to happen this time. And everything's against you. Like, your odds of winning anything are so low. But man, those people who get sucked into that, ooh, addiction is crazy, crazy strong. So I'll spend a little bit more time talking about that tomorrow. So I'm sorry, I'm going to use the same example because it's just so good. So that is a ratio schedule. And by the way, guys, tomorrow when you're writing that FRQ, if variable ratio pops up, and you're looking at your example or whatever, you use whatever example. I don't care if you use the example that I talked about. That's perfectly fine. That does not bother me. So if I use an example, it's fair game. Okay, now interval. Okay, ratio is talking about a set number of responses. You do the thing a set number of times. Interval, ooh, so fixed ratio and variable schedule are underneath partial. Yes, yes they are. Okay. Now, interval schedule deals with time, requires a set amount of time to elapse before giving the reinforcement. Okay. So first, we have a fixed interval. So you are rewarded after a set amount of time. Variable is random, Aryan. Variable is random. That's it. Variable means random. Right there. Random. That's all you need to know. Okay. So fixed interval after a set amount of time. So for you guys, you are given you guys are on a fixed interval schedule. Okay. You are either punished or rewarded for your grades. If you do well, you get money from your parents or high fives or something. If you do poorly, you can't play in sports or compete in other things. And maybe your parents get really mad at you. Okay, that's a fixed interval schedule. You are rewarded or punished at a fixed amount of time. Mr. Monk is paid on a fixed interval schedule. Every 2 weeks, I get a paycheck. Okay. Fortunately for me, it's I don't know, it's always a reward, I guess. Well, not really. I don't get paid much, but I don't know. Anyways, so that's a fixed interval. Okay. Now, variable interval is random. You are given a reward at random times, and the example of that is checking your phone. You guys don't check your phones on set times. It's not like every 5 minutes I'm going to check my phone. No, you just do it randomly. And why do you do it? Why do you check your phone? Well, you check your phone because you want to know if someone's talked to you. If you want to know if someone's retweeted your tweet, or liked a picture on Instagram, or I don't know, what do you reviewed your Snappy Chat thing? I don't know, that kind of stuff. That stuff is addicting. Like it's a reward. Like, you are rewarded for the things that you post. Yeah, Josh. Yeah, y'all are addicted, and it's fine too. I am too. I got a watch now, and the watch buzzes if I get a text message or a message on something. So yeah, Snappy Chat, Calvin. That's what it's called now, dude. That's the new hip way of saying Snapchat. It's Snappy Chat. Yeah, believe it, boys and girls. That's what is happening. Y'all need to chill. Would Weight Watchers be considered a token economy? Weight Watchers. I'm not really familiar with Weight Watchers. Do they give you something if you? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not. Sorry, Sarah. I'm not familiar enough with Weight Watchers. Okay, so those are your interval schedules. So that's what you'll need to know for that. So there we go. Okay, it's 8:54. Oh, and do you get to use those points to do stuff, I guess? Yeah, yeah. All of this that I just talked about. Look at the screen over here, guys. Continuous and partial. Both of these ratio and interval schedules fall under partial reinforcement. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yes, sir. Sorry. These are all reinforcement schedule things, right? Yes. Yeah. So tomorrow, what's going to happen is I'm going to pick, like, depending on the class, you're going to get one of these. So I haven't decided, so one class will get like a fixed ratio, and another class might get a variable interval or whatever. So that's how that's going to be set up for tomorrow's FRQ. So that's one way I can like differentiate what's going on. Yes, that is true. Yes, thank you, Josh. Well, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you. I don't know if Josh, you would say that they don't have inherent value. They just don't have value outside of Weight Watchers. That's the only place that they have Weight Watcher. Interval equals time. Ratio is number of times you do the thingy. Yes, thingy. Yes, technical terminology. Very good. Yes, Sarah, I will go over that in class. I am not going to do that only for the 20 kids that are on here. We will go over that in class. But you heard it twice, so you get to do a little extra preparation. Time to pre-write the whole FRQ. Yeah, do it. Go for it. I'm not going to give you the example, but you pre-writing what you're going to write tomorrow for your definition example sounds fantastic. Yeah, Sarah, we're gonna go over all this. So I still have to talk about this, which takes me about that took me what, like 10 minutes. This I'll go through it quicker tomorrow. You guys read this. I don't think I'm gonna. Hey, how was the reading? I didn't get it. Wait, can we use the things we pre-writed? No, that's just practice. You can't like bust them out in class. Yeah, you have to write it again in class to solve, you goofball. Can we bring no, y'all about to throw you under a bus. Okay, hey, how was that reading today? That was like I tried to make that as like not dumbed down, but as like short and sweet as possible. Was that better than the last reading? That's my real question. Was that like to solve? Don't you frowny face me? All right, hey, yeah, you better retract that, son. Smart man. Hey guys, I do need your input on the readings from today because I know all of you read it already. I just know it. Yes, there is a good Crash Course video. I'm sure that was the wrong emote. Punishment is discouraging a behavior, and stopping it is either positive, adding something, or maybe yes. Josh. Oh, does that work as a definition? Okay. Punishment is hold on. Punishment is discouraging a behavior and stopping it, and wanting to stop it. Yeah, punishment is discouraging a behavior and wanting to stop it or wanting it stopped. It is either positive, adding something, or negative, removing something. Think of positive as a method. And so you'd want to phrase it a little bit differently and add more to it, because adding something that's not enough, because what you would need to say you would say punishment is discouraging a behavior and or trying to stop it. When attempting to punish someone, or when attempting to punish something, there are two methods. It is either positive, in which you add something add something that's not nice, or add something they do not like, or negative, where you remove something that they do like in order to stop the behavior. Example being, and then you like throw in a quick example, or you can tie those like quick examples inside of it is either positive, where you add something negative, like a person is really angry, so you punch them in the face or something like that. So yeah. So, but like, I mean, you can write that out pretty quickly. Yeah, okay, for some reason that, well, Dasal, that's the world we live in, bud. Is the week worksheet from today due tomorrow? Yes, I am sure that I'm sure that the person told you that. I hope she did. And I'd also give an example, right? Yeah, like the parent taking a phone away to stop a child's bad behavior. Yeah, yeah, yep. Okay, cool. Yep, sweet. Okay, okay, it's 9 o'clock. Punishment, a behavior we dislike, so we attempt to stop it. Whoa. Through positive or negative methods, where positive punishment is adding something undesirable, while negative punishment is taking away good. Um, you need to. I'd want you to clean it up, Dasal. That's a little rough around the edges. Um, and don't do this like punishment. Punishment. Underline it. I don't know what those. It's not semicolon. Don't put a colon there. It's a part of a paragraph. Yeah, don't capitalize it. Remember, you're writing in paragraph form. I don't know why people still struggle with that. Behavior we dislike, so we attempt to stop it. Like punishment is when a person elicits a behavior. When a person does a behavior that we dislike, so we attempt to stop it. Yeah, make sure that you separate that there are two different people. Like one person is attempting to punish the other person for their behavior. Yeah. Is the test on Wednesday or Thursday? Tested on Thursday, Siddharth. And I know that's a half day for everyone, but all of my AP classes are in the morning, so you guys will all be there. So yeah. Yep. Okay. I know we didn't get into any questions, Sarah, but you don't really need any questions. You just need to know the terminology for your FRQ. So yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, because here's the thing, Dasal. The reason why you want to add positive and negative reinforcement or punishment into your definition is because that's where you're going to get your example from. Like, you cannot explain punishment without adding positive or negative reinforcement. You can't give me an example. You can't just be like, punishment is when you have something that you don't like. And then you like, or when you try to stop a behavior, and then you just like, and then you, I can't even give you an example because then you have to give an example, and you can't give an example without like talking about positive or negative um, punishment or reinforcement or whatever. Um, so yeah, so yes, you will definitely need that. Okay. Yes, like yeah, Rishi, like yeah, that's fine, but like you need to make sure that you describe everything. I don't count off like I have plenty of kids who are able to define things in one sentence, but it has to be thorough. It has to. I mean, like you have to tell me all about it. Like you have to tell me everything. Um, like I need to know that you know what's going on, so that yeah. I mean, you gotta know it. Some people can do that in a sentence. Some people struggle with it. So, okay. Do you guys have any other specific questions? Because it's my bedtime. It is my bedtime. So, you guys are gonna do great. FRQ tomorrow's easy peasy lemon squeezy, especially because you know everything. Um, yeah. What else? Thank you, Aryan. Good night to you too. Let me see. Let me. Yeah. The only other thing we'll do a quick thing on learned helplessness. Insight learning takes you about 2 seconds. Late learning. Yeah, we just have a few more slides. These all go super, 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 super fast. So it'll be easy. Hello, Emily. Did we already go over discrimination? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Just discrimination is when you're talking about classical operant conditioning. It can also go. Is discrimination on the FRQ? I don't remember. What's the list of things that are on your FRQ tomorrow? You guys here? Let me just copy paste the list of things. Thank you, Josh, for listing those out. Those are all. Oh, who beat me to it? Did someone beat me to it? No, they didn't. Yeah, all the new stuff we learned tomorrow. Okay, so shaping I'll go over again tomorrow. Discrimination we talked about. Generalization we talked about. Modeling was in your reading. Punishment we already talked about. Yeah, so oh wow, we really only have to talk about reinforcement schedule. We might have the time to do the other stuff that I wanted. Okay. Okay, discrimination, just real quick. Remember, discrimination is I'm calling Teddy over. I tell him to come, and that's what he's learned. Okay, so it can work with operant conditioning as well as classical conditioning. Tell him to come. Okay, but why? But he's learned that's what he's learned is that come is for him to come to me. If I say bazooka, he's not going to come because he knows the difference. He knows the word versus bazooka. So and he knows not to head my way if that's the case. And in classical conditioning, that is when you have a conditioned stimulus like the bell at school that you know, like when you hear the bell, it's like here we go, let's get out of here. And when you hear something that's totally different from the bell and you don't react to it. So if Mr. Long hopped onto the announcements and just started jabbering away, you wouldn't get up to go because it's so different from what's going on. So there we go. Okay, so I'm going to take by your silence that you guys are good. So I'm going to go and go to bed. This is late. It's past my bedtime. So thank you guys for hopping on. Appreciate it. So hopefully you guys will be ready to go tomorrow. We got a lot to do. Make sure that you finish your packet or the worksheet if you have not, because that will be turned into me tomorrow. So, yep. You didn't use the home part of discrimination this time. I didn't. Yes, just all that is something that I feel I won't say again or use as an example again. Yeah, so all right, guys, y'all have a good night. Actual grade, Aryan. I'm probably just going to give you a 0, son. Sassing me. Completion grade, my foot. I'll give you a completion grade. Completion of 0. Oh, get wrecked, son. All right, good night, guys. Go to sleep. Yes, Calvin, you may cry, but please cry softly and keep your tears to yourself. No one wants that. Yes, guys, it is an actual grade. Yeah, I'm gonna grade it. Oh, I hope y'all BS'd it the entire time, because I'll just be like, ooh, zeros. Got this wrong. Got this wrong. I don't care. Get me all fired up. Man, I'll be ripping you guys, leaving notes. So good. Good night, guys. You have a good night. See you tomorrow.